Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It's Wednesday, January 28th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Like most Maritimers, Danny MacNeil has done his share of shoveling the past couple of days, and like most people who clear their driveways, he has what you might call a bit of a pet peeve.
The older you get, the more you understand that the plow driver is just doing his job, and there's nothing he can do about it. But there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than finishing up a shoveling job and then there it goes again. I said, baby, the plow just went by, and your dad's back is bad at 35.
Now, the Sydney musician and father of 3-year-old twins has written a song about just what it feels like when the plow undoes some of your hard work. It's called The Plow Just Went By, and he says it was inspired in part by Cape Breton's infamous Snowmageddon storm 2 winters ago.
Where we were snowed in for 7 days or so, and that's where I wrote the majority of the song. So stay here, my little big eyes, I will be back to say goodnight.
While at first it seems like a song that's simply about the trials and tribulations of a tired shoveler, MacNeil says it has a broader meaning too.
But really, at its core, it's a song about kind of the things in life that pull us away from our kids and kind of, life's responsibilities and having to keep up with them.
The song will be officially released this coming Friday, January 30th. And while MacNeil says he didn't exactly plan for it to come out the same week as a significant snowstorm, it doesn't exactly hurt that it did.
I hope that people can relate to it quite a bit and kind of see their own story in the song, for sure.
MacNeil adds that the song will be performed live for the first time during a show at On the Same Page bookstore in downtown Sydney on February the 6th. Until then, though, he's preparing himself for life to imitate art.
I've got lots of shoveling in my future, absolutely. Yeah. Lots to look forward to. I gotta go and shovel that snow, and before it comes too heavy a load.
A new song that, at the very least, could be rated relatable. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
When the Oilers score, there's a good chance you'll see this superfan cheering on the broadcast. Trevor Wheel is a staple at Rogers Place.
Tonight is my 200th consecutive Oilers game in Rogers Place.
Wheel, known as McMullet, has seen every Oilers home game since the beginning of the 2022 playoffs. That includes every preseason, regular, and postseason game.
I love Oilers hockey. I love watching hockey, so that's a big thing.
McMullet's commute to Rogers Place is a little longer than most. Instead of minutes, it takes hours. The Calhoun native now lives in Strathmore, about 30 minutes east of Calgary. Every game day, he drives up the QE2 to downtown Edmonton. After the game, he's back on the road heading home.
There were 2 nights coming home after games that it took me 8 hours to get home. Because of the snowstorms and the Highway 2 was closed. I listened to a lot of different hockey podcasts.
The Oilers celebrated McMullet's milestone with a pregame interview and a gift.
They presented me with an Oilers puck that they marked up like they would for one of the players. And they marked it up 200th consecutive game and put the date on it.
He always brings so much energy, and he's such a diehard fan. It's a really great reminder of what this team means to fans in our community throughout all country and obviously throughout Alberta.
Wheel says becoming a superfan has been surreal.
To have people come up and want to get a picture with me and chat, and I've been asked for my autograph, and it's like I'm just somebody that loves Oilers hockey just like the rest of you guys, right? But it's still it's pretty cool.
Attributing his love for the team and its fans and helping drive the streak. Nairm Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
12-year-old Lily Wag is at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. After a number of tests, doctors determined
her liver is no longer able to sustain life, so transplant was and is needed.
The St. Thomas family has spent this entire month at the hospital as they wait for a liver donor. A recent social media call for help went viral.
At this time, they don't need any more applications because the the astonishing amount of turnout. They've actually stopped counting the amount of applications for Lily. The drawback to that is that they only process one potential candidate at a time.
The applicant screening process includes CT scans, MRIs, blood work, and x-rays, so that takes time. When it comes to liver donation, they are told their best chance is a live donor.
The donor would be potentially able to give a piece of their liver instead of obviously the whole thing. The liver will, within 6 to 8 weeks, potentially, hopefully, regrow back to the original size for the donor and for the recipient.
And there's always the option of a deceased donor, and then that comes with we would get the whole liver.
While they wait, the family is living at Ronald McDonald House.
Kids go to school down here as well at Ronald McDonald House. We're definitely very thankful to be able to do this as a family and not separate, being obviously living 2.5 hours away, so we can tackle this as a family.
Doctors are doing their best to keep her as stable as possible, but
she's very sick. There's not months and months and months that she can wait, and unfortunately at any time she could decline.
In the short term, they can only wait, monitor her levels, and hope and pray there's a donor ready to go through a 6 to 8 hour surgery.
We just have to hope and pray that we're able to find something before her body decides that it's had enough.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Stephanie Rees is head contractor with SP Paris Construction and came up with the concept of the warming kits after visiting an encampment site and talking with people living in tents.
I visited the encampment and was trying to figure out why there was so much frostbite. I noticed that none of the tents were ventilated and that they didn't have a thermal break on the ground.
There are 2 kits made from reflective insulation, one for a tent and another to put in boots and hats.
Reflective insulation can be used as a thermal break so that it keeps the cold downward and reflects body heat back to the user.
The kits are being distributed free of charge at the warming center at Energy Court and by outreach teams throughout the city.
It's creating a barrier between the ground and the individual inside the tent, so we're hoping it does prevent cases of frostbite and extreme cold.
Rees tried out the reflective boot insoles.
I actually took a walk at -43, 1:30 in the morning, and I had one insole in one boot and none in the other, and that was 2 days ago. My left foot was unaffected. It kept warm, and my right foot still hurts.
Rees says many area businesses have generously donated reflective insulation to the Go Give project.
The kits are super easy to make. I would even encourage school children as a class to make them for their community.
Rees says she has received inquiries about the kits from towns and cities across the province, and she is gladly sharing the concept and how to make them. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's a night that solidified a Leafs legend. February 7th, 1976, Daryl Sittler setting an NHL record with 10 points in one game, a record that soon will have stood for 50 years.
I'll be honest with you, after that game, I never really realized the magnitude of it.
We sat down with Sittler to talk about that night 50 years ago as the team honors the accomplishment. The 75-year-old says back then he didn't know what was happening until the team's statistician approached after the second period when they were winning 8-4.
He comes over to me and says, Daryl, you've got 7 points. If you get one more, you tie Rocket Richard's record.
The record held by Rocket Richard had been 8 points. Sittler would score 3 goals in the third period, making his total 6 goals and 4 assists. And he says there was something magical about the game, including the time of the goal that broke the record.
And I broke Rocket Richard's record. He wore number 9, and I'm number 27, and it happened at 9:27. So what are the chances of those numbers coming together?
Sittler's place firmly cemented in Legends Row. For tonight's game, the team is bringing back most of his teammates, including longtime friend Tiger Williams, who's tasked with holding onto and protecting the jersey Sittler wore that night.
He's just a class guy. 24/7, 365 days a year. In my case, I've been with him for 50 years.
This would be the stick that he would use in the first 2 periods of that game.
While it has been hard to authenticate, collector Mark Farah says this stick comes with small notes showing the date and events of the game, also matched through tape and photos of that night, having been pulled out of use because Sittler scored his 150th goal that night as well.
I get chills to think about what it would have been like in that moment and that time, and being a part of that crowd and the excitement.
12 other players have reached 8 points in a game, Gretzky and Lemieux included, but this record now seems unbreakable. When it comes to his own memories, Sittler does have one goal that sticks out.
I was coming down the boards and I shot and I went in behind the net and I hit my back up against the boards, and you could see the smile and emotion on my face.
A night and a record standing the test of time. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
This is one of our oldest items that we have in the museum here.
For generations, Buxton's story has been passed down through families, artifacts, and oral history. Now that history is getting international attention.
We're very excited, very proud to be listed on this U.S. Park Service, and it's an amazing feeling because we, as a Canadian site, especially a Black historic Canadian site, it's important, especially across North America, to be able to share our Black history with all of the things that are happening, in the U.S.
The designation is only the second of its kind in Canada. The first is a church in St. Catharines, and this honor confirms Buxton was more than just a stop along the Underground Railroad. It was a place where formerly enslaved people settled, owned land, built schools, and created a community.
For the many descendants, our ancestors that worked so hard and so tirelessly to create this community, and for us to be have this honor bestowed on us, I think is extremely amazing.
To be accepted into the Network to Freedom, sites must prove a verifiable connection to the Underground Railroad, a pre-pandemic process that took more than 5 years of research and documentation.
It's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of effort, but it was definitely worth it to be named one of those sites on their site as well.
The recognition comes as the preservation of slavery history is under scrutiny in the United States.
I was heartbroken when I found out about this.
Last week, the U.S. National Park Service dismantled a major slavery exhibit in Philadelphia, sparking widespread reaction.
No history is sterile. You can't just have all the good parts of it. How are we going to learn from what we didn't do right? You show all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Here in Chatham, Kent, Buxton's designation is seen as a powerful affirmation of the importance of preserving Black history.
You can't erase history. As much as people want to, take that on, especially in the United States.
Buxton now joins an international network of nearly 800 sites across 41 U.S. states and the Caribbean.
It's big. It's great because it puts Buxton and Chatham-Kent on the map and really in that competition of the world places that you want to visit. And what I love about it is that they've worked so hard to get this designation.
Museum officials say the designation isn't just about recognition. It's about ensuring stories of Black resilience, freedom, and community building are preserved for future generations. Stephanie?
Incredibly important. Okay, Chris Gamble tonight.
The Ottawa Hospital is blending up a bold new menu.
What we wanted to do is really have a reset and emphasize that food is medicine.
It's reimagining the patient food experience, focusing on calories, protein, and fiber.
What we want to do is have that reset, make sure that our menu is both healthy, nutritious, and delicious. Have meals that patients want to eat and will ideally lead to positive patient recovery.
It's teamed up with well-known Ottawa restaurateur Stephen Bechta with a goal of improving nutrition and quality.
Once we recognized how important food is in the healing process, then we started to put together a menu that removed things, ultra-processed foods and added sugars.
In addition to high-protein smoothies and bone broth, a trial menu was piloted to some patients last year. It included choices like a Spanish omelet with roast potatoes and tomato salsa and high-protein granola with Greek yogurt, banana, and raisins for breakfast. For lunch, chicken kale Caesar with puffed quinoa and chickpeas and a mushroom and lentil sloppy joe with root vegetable chips. And for dinner, shepherd's pie with extra veggies and cottage cheese, mashed potatoes, and butter chicken with potatoes. For dessert, fruit, and energy bites.
I think it's good. I think people that are sick and
they deserve a little quality of life, and the I wouldn't say nasty hospital food, but it's very utilitarian.
The hospital serves more than 3,000 meals to patients every day. The food trial was done within the hospital's existing budget.
By changing the way that we took the orders, processed the orders, delivered the orders, cooked the orders, we were able to save an enormous amount of waste and redirect it to higher quality ingredients, and that was key.
The pilot project took place on 4 units at the general campus, but there's no timeline on a full rollout. Katie Griffin, CTV News.
I was just surprised, and I couldn't believe it.
Marie Montgomery is the City of Cambridge's first Lenny Award winner. The 82-year-old was nominated by his neighbor to highlight his snow clearing efforts.
I feel the need to help, because if I would like to help myself, if I didn't have a snowblower, so I try to help people as much as I can.
Yesterday morning it was like big pile there. He comes out, he goes everyone, like his house, next house, like everybody on the street. He does the pedestrian walkway.
Marie is one of many who will be recognized this winter.
Residents who want to acknowledge very special neighbors or friends who have helped out during this very difficult winter season, they can nominate their neighbor for a Lenny Award.
All part of the city's new Winter Critter campaign, featuring AI-generated animals designed to bring awareness to common complaints.
Things like parking during a snow event, which prevents a snowplow from getting through. It's someone who isn't driving to conditions. It's someone who's not shoveling their driveway.
Ivan Impatient, Chris Cruise Control, and Peter Parks Too Long are just a few of the characters already introduced.
We've labeled them as villains. And in this case, Lenny Lend a Hand is the hero in this story. And that's what we're trying to showcase.
While some people love the new campaign,
people are going to find it a little funny. At the same time, it's like there is some serious message behind it as well.
Others said it felt tone deaf.
It makes me feel really disrespected.
Tracy Haas said she's been extremely frustrated with the city's snow clearing, and her husband, who is wheelchair bound, has been struggling to navigate snow-covered sidewalks in the area.
It's affecting everybody, and it's not funny. We don't need some little AI moose with his little golden shovel giving us all a little praise, because we're going to go out and we're going to do something that the city or region should be doing anyway as part of what we pay taxes for.
Others reacted to the city's social media posts, calling the campaign immature and insensitive. Comment sections that have since been limited by the city.
It's just a tongue-in-cheek kind of humorous campaign, and there's no ill intent intended behind it. But we did know that it would generate conversation.
But Haas says she's not laughing.
There's nothing funny about people not being able to be mobile.
Whether you love or hate the campaign, it doesn't seem like winter is going away anytime soon. And the city will continue to accept nominations, with winners enter to win a new snowblower at the end of the season. Tony.
Karis, thank you. CTV's Karis Mapp with that report.
Cash tills sliding out and beef patties on the grill. You might be able to hear the cash till sound more often at Moment in Time Neighborhood Grill here in Morden. That's because owner Alex Kansky made a bold move to go cash only, not accepting card payments. He says it's because of the fees.
For us, it's been about $7,500 a year. So next February is 3 years for us, so that's just over $22,000.
Kansky announced the move last Thursday. So far, he says reactions from customers have been mixed.
I've received an email just telling me that they think it's a really bad idea and that they probably won't be coming because that's all they carry is cards.
Customers like Josh Nichols says it's worth it to go get cash.
I was hungry and I really wanted to eat here, so I made the effort. Now that I know, I'll just always have cash on me.
Michelle Auger is the Director of Trade and Marketplace with the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. She says the decision to drop card payments is an interesting one, but she isn't surprised.
We're at a time right now where all of operating business lines, they're all increasing. And so there has to be a trade-off for some small business owner. They're looking at where can we save money. And if that's an option, it seems like that is the business decision that they are making at this time.
Kansky adds he will continue to try to keep his prices down. Harrison Shin, CTV News, Morden, Manitoba.
It's called Bannock with a Badge. Officers sit down with youth in community spaces, the body cams aren't on, and there's no crisis happening. Still, some teens admit it's a bit unnerving.
low-key, when I first walked in, I was nervous. Because, like, I had, like, bad experience with cops ever since I was, like, you know.
JJ One Spot says his trepidation eased once the conversation started.
I feel like they're more involved in the community, I guess, doing this, like, you know, being out. And it's, like, very inclusive and stuff.
For others, seeing officers as more than just the badge and uniform makes a big difference.
It felt good seeing them around. They're in the community a lot, making sure we're all okay. So I like seeing that.
There are 35 officers with the Tsuut'ina Nation Police serving a community of roughly 2,500 people, meaning Nation members rub shoulders with police all the time.
You see them, you know, throughout the schools and at all of our community events. They're always present, and so you get to know them by face. You get to you recognize them.
Corporal Kenny Big Plume says in a smaller service like this, maintaining those relationships is essential.
I'm hoping that they take away just being able to see police officers as human beings. You know, like we could be, you know, we're parents, we're mothers, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties.
The next Bannock with a Badge session will be held at the Redwood Meadows Community Center in February. Kevin Green, CTV News, on the Tsuut'ina First Nation.
The Seguin of the Muskoka Steamships line has been on the waters of Lake Muskoka for almost 140 years, and now it's getting a little makeover. Built in 1887, the Seguin is undergoing its most significant renovations in 50 years. The top deck of the ship has been removed and is in the process of being rebuilt by local tradesmen who are installing new safety and mechanical components too. Now, the $2 million project involves the replacement of an enormous amount of new wood with a very special purpose.
We're trying to lighten the ship at the top of the vessel, so we're using a lighter wood, more rot resistant, weather resistant, things like that. So she'll be stronger and she'll be more resilient, hopefully to last the next 30 or 40 years until we have to do something like this again.
The 139-year-old Seguin is due to be back on the water by Labor Day weekend of this year.
This is a story about a dog named Guess and the definite potential of a stick.
Quite early on, we found out she has a propensity to lift very large sticks.
So, like many proud parents, Carrie Walker captured Guess's accomplishments on video.
I just thought it was really impressive, her strength and determination.
And so many other people said they were inspired to see the little dog pursuing her big dreams that Carrie began posting Guess with Sticks videos on social media.
I think it's just a laugh, a little nugget of joy.
And that could have been the end of it. Until the sticks that Guess deposited at the end of the driveway after every walk grew into an impressive pile. And Carrie, who's a professional artist, found herself feeling unexpectedly inspired.
It was a big part of my life and just thought, I'm going to draw one. But then I think also it was like, oh, that's such a dumb idea.
Because serious artists don't do silly things like draw dog sticks, Carrie thought, before considering how Guess, even when she doesn't succeed in picking up a stick, never fails to try.
But yeah, I took my cue from Guess.
Carrie started by capturing the general texture of a stick.
Found them really beautiful.
Before documenting every specific detail.
Sort of just like traveling through this world that's contained in the stick.
And by the time she'd completed almost a dozen life-size stick drawings, Carrie was invited to exhibit them at a very real art gallery to display her little dog's big inspiration.
She's not questioning her impulse. Her impulse is you pick up a stick and you take it home. You're following your impulse, I'll follow my impulse.
And now that her drawings are being displayed with the actual sticks that inspired them, the idea no longer seems so silly. Because during these often troubling times, what could be more serious than simply striving to make people smile?
It's like a moral responsibility to share that joy with people if you can.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.